easily. I'm very good at it. Is for the spiritual people. Spiritual in this case, meaning the person who understood Baha'u'llah. He is not just a follower, he's actually a teacher. He brings people into Baha'i faith. His life is 24 hours into faith. That kind of individual sees things. Nothing can stop him. What he sees, just like an adult looking at an event, has a meaning. You can, interpret something what he says. The other dreams is like the report of the children from an event. There's a war happening, a child is there, when you bring some words or some noises, it's very difficult to understand what it means. If you're not grown up spiritually, your dream is very difficult to read. You see, it's like a child reporting an event. Person who doesn't know, As like you're trying to say, reporting to me what they said, but you speak Persian and they were speaking English. What could you know? What could you tell me? Although you were there, but you could not understand it. So these dreams that bring the prediction is an essential reason why there is a spirit, because we can never predict the future, that's tomorrow, by science. Impossible. All we understand and discover and know things is the things that is in our time at the present, is today. In the universe, we go and find it, or even in the past, as I said. Coming back to know what happened in future, that cannot be used by material. Anytime you use a material means, immediately matter is accompanied by time. So, time, you're in present. You will never understand what the future is. You want to know the future, you have to speed over time. In that case, you cannot accompany matter. You cannot have anything material. Even if you go to the speed of light, you can see the picture, the past, the pictures pass by, you see, go with sweet. You are carrying the particle, which is matter. Even its quark, even it's smaller than that. If it's smaller, if it's the particle imaginum, as I use it for what Baha'u'llah says, the speed of imagination. You're still here. You're not gone on the other side. Going on the other side, you have to be absolutely no material involved in that. Very different. I can't even give the example of the baby in the womb and we are outside of the womb. Even it's not that, because we're still in the same time. The baby and us, we're all material. Non-material is something completely different, a different capacity. In there's no time. So, you have to be there to know what's happening in this life. It is just like the animal who is in the control of the vegetable soul in us, and vegetable is controlling the substance of the body. Vegetable souls is a system that prevents the body to rot. On its own it will rot, but because it's organized under this system of vegetation system, it will feed it and doesn't let it rot, doesn't let it to die. Because it gives you the feeling you need water. Then who's going to get you? If you're a plant, you have to get it dried from the land. But if you have an animal spirit installed on that plant, then you walk and go towards the water or food. And the thinking power, which is controlling animal, is supposed to control animal, but prevent animal from dying fast and soon, will not eat poisonous things, or wrong things, dirty things. Just knows what's wrong not to take. Or if it gets sick or leg is broken, goes to doctor. That's the human soul can do, animal can't. So you can see, in this case, the human soul becomes under the control of another self, which is outside of this boundaries of time. Goes somewhere else. When we talk about it more. Anyways, these visions, you consider two ways. some of them that the person may not have the capacity even to see that, but the person can be used to convey a message. We have many of it in the Baha'i faith. One of them is that the shepherd in Iraq, where in Kazimin, the city, where Sheikh Kazim, one of the forerunner of the Bab, the second forerunner of the Bab, who was there standing with his students, that the shepherd approached him and told him, "Master, I've been waiting for you many days here. And I had a vision that I saw Prophet Muhammad told me a man comes here, stands under this tree, tell him you have only 3 days to live." And as soon as Sheikh Kazim heard it, he said to the students, "You heard it. Get ready. I'm going." In this case, Sheikh Kazim himself was busy, his mind, just like his telephone line. He wouldn't know about this. He didn't access to know. But somebody else had to hear this message from Prophet to tell him that his time has come to go. So some of the things, the dream that we see, is messages given to us to say to others. Other time is a little bit different. Is the person has the capacity that if he wants to anyways, just like here in this life, if he wants to know certain things, he would just go to a sleep. Let's say in my case that's what happens. And in the vision I see what happens, and I get up and I know. So other time these predictions actually does not happen in the dream at all. This happens while you're not even sleeping, you're right there. These are the people of really powerful people. One of them is Tahira, the letter of the living of the Bab, the elder of Baha'u'llah. She says to one of the elders that became later the letter of living, her relative, she said to him that you are going to see the promised one. When you saw him, give this letter to him. The young man was astonished to hear. He says, "Yes, you will." So she knew it right now that this is going to happen. Or Quddus, second line after the Bab was talking from behind. He said, "This is the promised one." He would know. And many thousands of times this has been the case with Baha'u'llah and with the Bab, which are outside of the reach of our understanding anyways. So this is how actually the mechanism it works. So to have this spiritual prediction, we have to be fully spiritual, activated. This particular program of humanity, a higher level of humanity has to be. We have to pass the present. We have to go to the other time. All right. So. I've written a few lines here that how we can obtain this, as I explained to you before. On the line of the spirituality that you go. If you're seriously spiritual in the Baha'i faith by the way of Baha'u'llah, as he says everywhere, you actually become lonely. You become manifestation of God, not a specific but general. And since God is alone, you will be alone too. People misunderstand you all the time. They think you're crazy. I've been licensed to that by my colleagues. They think you're crazy, you're actually absolutely, you have an ulterior motive. They just don't understand you. You become a different species, like a Tarzan in jungle, you know. They see you're sincere and honest and all that, but still they can't relate to you. Some of them, they're scared of you. Some they think you're crazy. Whatever happens, those who know you, they just repel you away. They don't want you. And the more and more you are separated from the people and people cut you off, the bigger and the better your relationship becomes with the Baha'u'llah. So the more and more you get there, the less and less you actually are connected to this life. You are perfectly using everything, but you don't have that kind of a connections at all. It is totally like a baby coming out of the womb. You know how different it is, this life, compared to the life in the womb? Only when you understand and talk and you know where you came from, then you really, see what we were. We were in the same life, and just one wall, the wall of the womb, was separating us. So in the next life, while you're alive, you're not dead, but you're still outside of the material womb. You are born on the other side. This is the real meaning of what Jesus Christ says that. Born again. That's what it means. You're coming out of the cocoon. You're going from the realm of time to the realm of willpower. The next life, there's no time. Time requires to have matter. There's no matter on the other side. Nothing material. In that case, there can be time. What would there be then for motion, for moving? Do the spirit moves? Yes, they do. How would they do it if there's no time? It takes time from point A to B. But if something is not made out of time, is not made out of matter, time doesn't accompany him. How would he do it? He uses the willpower. The willpower, he decides to be here or to be there. When he decides, he can do it.